Hi everyone and welcome to the Monday Angel Messages. I'm Rachel Skoltok, Angel Medium, and my website is rachelskoltok.com, where you can get a heap of free resources. If you go over to the store page and drop down the menu, you'll see the free stuff page, and there's some really good meditations and other resources for you there. But I do a reading every Monday, which is giving you energy updates, insights and guidance for the week ahead from the angelic realm. So let's get started, because they're pretty amazing this week and they're really addressing the energy, how heavy it's been, where we are, and what to expect and how to overcome the challenging aspects of it. So the first card that I pulled out, I actually pulled out two. One from the Kyle Gray Angel Guides deck and the other one from the Archangel Power Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. I use both of these in my one-on-one readings. Now here we see Archangel Uriel, and he is carrying the lantern, which guides you one step at a time. So often in our lives, we can feel like we're in the dark. We don't know where to go next. We don't know how to get there, or we might be stuck in some dark emotions, some fear, some sadness and uncertainty. And this is Archangel Uriel saying, don't worry, we are with you. And even if you can't see your way out, know that there is a way and that we will guide you. So that's reassurance to start off with. Now, that light is much more powerful than any darkness or fear that you may be experiencing or imagining. So please don't be worried, because when you call on your angels, and you can do it silently, aloud, or in writing, you just say, angels, please help me. They will be with you. They are with you all the time, but they can't violate free will and overstep those boundaries. So they need you to give them permission by asking them. They will be with you and they will buffer your energy. They'll add extra light and they will clear away and detox you from any heavy vibrations, toxic vibrations of fear that you might have absorbed, that add extra fear to your burden and make things appear much worse than they are. Now, don't forget, being a human isn't that easy. We have an imagination that can be used for good, or it can be used for fear. And when we go into fear, we are sometimes uncertain about whether that fear is real or imagined, because we're so clever. And when we imagine fear, we can actually make it come true in our bodies, even if it's only in our imaginations. And that then makes it feel very real. You know, the racing heart, the intense feelings of loneliness, sadness, imagining worst case scenarios. It can feel real, and your body doesn't know the difference between something you're imagining or something that you are actually experiencing. So it will react accordingly. When you know that, and you know that your stress hormones are always trying to protect you by going into fight or flight, that gives you a little bit of space to question, is this real or is this just my fear? And when you ask that question, call on the angels to clear away any fear so that you can get centered again and make clear decisions and move forward, but most of all feel peaceful, because that's really important at the moment. So both of these cards are asking you to, one, lean on the angels, and two, to recognize that there is a bigger picture. There is something behind everything that you're going through. So sometimes we can't see the wood for the trees, right? Because it's only when we get out of a challenge, it's only when we come out on the other side of spiritual growth that we go, now I can see why that happened. Now I can see the blessing and the lesson that I'm getting from this. You know, retrospect gives us all of the insights. When we're in it, we can't see that, and that's when your fear imagination can can take over. So here the King of Gabriel is saying, know that there's a bigger picture, lean on the angels, and trust that that bigger picture is a positive one, that everything is working out for the highest good, and good will come of this, even if you can't see how. In all the times in my life that I've asked the angels to help me, and there's probably thousands by now, every time they've fixed something for me, there is no way that I could have figured that out myself or have even imagined how it would work out. They are so creative because they are part of the divine mind. They're part of the infinite intelligence. Our human perspective is very limited and small, and we're only seeing it from one way most of the time. And if we've had, caregivers and parents who have been worrywarts, or, we've only got to watch the news for any period of time, for that fear to take over, we then are only looking through the fear goggles. But the angels don't have that because they're not human, they're not physical. They're letting you know that when you focus on everything is going to be okay, everything is working out for the highest good, divine order will take over, and your energy contributes to that higher outcome. Whereas if you sit in fear, it's going to take longer for things to resolve in a positive way for you because the fear acts as a block. So sometimes we have to step away from something to get perspective. And this is what this card is saying. Like, sometimes you've got to withdraw, you've got to turn off your phone, you've got to step away from the project to get perspective. They're asking you to do that this week. Step back, get into your power, get grounded, recognize that you do have power, even if you can't really see it and sense it at the moment, that you do have power. And when you feel peaceful and centered, you'll feel that energy come back for you. You'll start to feel positive again. Also, taking care of yourself will allow you more energy to take care of others. So sometimes if you're an overgiver and you've been putting everyone else before you, this again is a card that's telling you, hang on, take care of you, get back into your power, recharge your energy, and then you'll have more to share with others. You're not blocked. It's just sometimes you get stuck with that fear. So the second card, I really love this. This is guidance. This is sacred plan. So it's really pushing the message this week. The energy may feel heavy. There may be some really weird, freaky things going on personally and collectively. You may be feeling like, I don't understand. Why is it like this? Trust in divine order. There is a sacred plan going on. It's much bigger than we can perceive. And even though the energy is swirling, look at the energy in this card, it's swirling everywhere. It can make you feel, I'm okay 1 minute, next minute I feel like my whole life is falling apart. It can make you think, I know exactly what I'm going to do 1 minute, and next minute you think, no, I don't want to do that anymore. The energy is uncertain, it's unsettled. That's not to say that's what's going on with the divine and the angels, that's the human aspect of it. So with all of that energy swirling around, it can make it very difficult to make decisions, or to, if you're sort of feeling about for the energy to make you feel safe, you might not feel safe. It doesn't mean you aren't safe. That's why they're telling you, lean on us, angels, and we will bring you back to that centered place, make you feel peaceful, clear away the fear, give you insights and guidance that will make you feel amazing and better. And in the meantime, trust if something doesn't look good, that it's all working out for the highest good. And you're an earth angel, you're a light worker, you have that power of your mind and your energy. It influences and makes a difference. And we know that the future isn't written in stone. No one can tell you what the future holds. No one. Whether they are doom and gloomers, portending awful things, or whether they're psychics, or whether, it doesn't matter. No one can tell you the future because the future is not written in stone. We co-create it together, and together with the divine and the angels. But ultimately, the divine is in charge, right? Love wins. So we need to come back to that place of centeredness and not allow ourselves to go into those fear-based scenarios. Don't let anyone influence you into that. And don't allow yourself to do it. And if you're doing it already, or you've done it, then do some energy clearing. Go and pick up those meditations off my website. Come to my Archangel Raphael meditation and guided workshop on Friday, and that's Thursday in the USA. And get back to center, get that energy clear so that you are co-creating a path that you like the look of. And that way you are predicting your own future. You're not going to fall into some horrible hole where people are doing awful things to you. That's not what life is about. It's not what the divine wants for you, and you have to trust in that. So get back into that space. So that is combined, this lovely, beautiful sacred plan, trust the sacred plan, with this card, leap of faith. Now, we've had this a lot. The birds are chatting. They're listening to me and talking back. This is about making big decisions that change your life in a positive way, but you can only do that from that peaceful, centered place. So don't be hard on yourself if you're not feeling like you can do that right now. You will be able to soon. And you can do the groundwork right now. You can start writing in a journal about what you want your life to be like, what you want it to look like. You might not know the details. You might not know exactly what the job is, or where the house is, or what the partner looks like. But you can say how you want to feel. You can say what it is you want to achieve. You can, all sorts of things you do know, even if you don't know what the ultimate outcome looks like. Trust that the divine, there's a sacred plan. The divine and the angels do know that. And you might not have it revealed to you just yet. You may not be ready. Spirit isn't like an app. You don't just press a button and get what you want. What's my life purpose? Ding. We sometimes we have to work towards it. We have to be ready. We have to get our energy ready. We have to do the meditation and the energy clearing. It doesn't have to be for hours and hours, but just a little bit of work on yourself can make all the difference. This card is saying, believe in yourself. So what are you listening to or believing in or questioning that you're not sure if it's the truth or not? Come back to this, believe in yourself. When you learn to listen to your soul's voice, when you tune in to your angels and their guidance, and you understand what your intuition is telling you, you don't have to listen to what everyone else says. You don't have to fall for things. Your gut, your intuition, your angels will tell you whether that is right or wrong. And that's what it comes down to right now. You have to trust you, and you have to lean on your angels. Because if it's peaceful, if it's loving, if it's kind, if it feels good and aligned for you, it's right for you. If you're not sure yet, then that just means wait, and then it will become clear. So there are beautiful things coming that are aligning you up with what brings you joy, what is in your heart, what your soul plan and contract is, which is always love and light. So trust that. Of course, there's always work, there's always obstacles and challenges, because that's the grist for the mill. That's what makes us human. That's what allows us to grow and polish our soul, which is partly why we're here. So don't expect it to just be like, here's the golden goose, but it's definitely going to be a joyful path rather than a low negative path. And this is the outcome, spiritual growth. So let's look at this collectively first. When we look at what's going on in the world, not just in our own country, but everywhere, we have to trust that there's a divine plan, a higher plan, a positive plan. We also have to trust that things are going to work out for the highest good. Then we will pop out the other side, ascended, spiritual growth. It doesn't mean we stop and we all turn into angels or spirit guides, but it does mean that this growth will mean that this higher vibration, higher energy, a much more, what they've called the new earth or heaven on earth. It doesn't all happen at once, but we're moving towards that, which I find this one very reassuring and positive. And I felt that even for the last few weeks, that we have kind of tipped ourselves onto that higher side of the scale. We're working things out. It's good, but there's still work to be done. We're still working on it together. So there's spiritual growth happening and in your future, and that means right now you can't see the wood for the trees. On the other side, you'll get the lessons and the blessings, and you'll also reap the rewards for it. And this was the final card, which is divine timing. We've got to trust it, don't we? It's hard sometimes, but we have to trust in divine timing. And when we feel impatient, that's just because our ego is in fear that what we want isn't coming. And when we go into fear, everything seems to take a long time. But there's no time in the spirit realm. It's related to divine order, like are things working, moving in the right way, having to take steps in order to create divine order. So you can't plant a seed and then pick the fruit the next day. We have to wait for it to be ready, and then you can pick the fruit. So everything has its own time, and there are steps to take along the way. So this one is so powerful, and I love that it looks like he's holding, he looks like a beautiful indigenous spirit, and he's got the world at his heart, but he's also got his wings outspread. So that feels very protective and safe, and gives us an idea about moving towards what we need to move towards in order to take care of the world. But also, if you bring that down to your own life, it's saying that all is well, all is protected, and get grounded, connect with nature, go to your raw elements, your intuition, your soul, in order to get answers. All is well. So I wanted to mention the Archangel Raphael healing webinar, online workshop of 90 minutes at the end of this week. It's very low cost. If you want to book in, the link is in my profile, and I'd love to see you there. It's going to be very powerful. Angel blessings. Have a wonderful week. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments.